Hey everybody, this is Ron with the Safety Tribe, and today we're going to have a little short chat about engaged employees and what that means. There's a lot of talk about engaged employees and how companies that have engaged employees are more profitable, have better market share, have happier employees that have better safety records and all that. But I find in talking to managers around the country that there's some misunderstanding about what an engaged employee is. It seems to be kind of a touchy-feely term, and it's hard to get a grasp on. But I hope to clear that up a little bit with this short video. Simply stated, there are just a few characteristics of an engaged employee, and they're easy to spot. So we're going to talk just a little bit about how you recognize an engaged employee. You might wonder if you're an engaged employee or if you have an engaged employees, depending on your situation. First characteristic of an engaged employee that I want to talk about is that they're optimistic. They're optimistic about the company. They like where the company's going, they're happy with where the company's going, and they're optimistic about their future with the company. They like working there. Now on the other side of the coin, there's an unengaged or non-engaged employee. In this case, this employee is the kind of person who you would, instead of being optimistic, you would characterize this person as being grumbly and complaining. There's always something wrong. They always find something that's not right. They always want to complain about something. They don't focus on the good stuff. They focus on stuff that they think is negative. That's one. Number two, second characteristic I want to talk about is if you find one of these, you got an engaged employee. This is an employee who's reliable and easy to work with. Those are the kind of employees that you want to have in your business. You want people who show up, and when they show up, they produce. Those are reliable employees. On the other hand, there's the non-reliable, non-engaged employees. Non-engaged employees are simply unreliable. It's a challenge to get them to work. It's a challenge to get them to work on time. And they're not really easy to work with. And one of the other problems with non-engaged employees, if they're unreliable and they're hard to work with, is you tend to just leave them alone. You don't work with them to help them get better because you don't even like being around them. And so they're just kind of left to languish in their situation. Third characteristic of an engaged employee, and this is very clear, these employees are relational. These employees work well with others. They're eager to collaborate. They're eager to be on a team, and they're eager to get things done. That's one of the reasons you like to work with them. On the other hand, you have the non-engaged employee, and they don't really want to be on teams. They just want to sit at their machine and do their thing and not get involved in anything else. And in a sense, that's okay if they're doing their job, but you're not getting the productivity or the benefit from a non-engaged employee that you are from an engaged employee. Number four, an engaged employee accepts challenges, accepts changes, and figures out a way to make these changes work. And we all know what happens on the other side of the coin. The non-engaged employee can think of 100,000 reasons why any change you bring up isn't going to work. It's always a challenge to get them to accept and implement a change. And the last bullet I want to talk about is that engaged employees always manage to find time to identify and implement improvements. In the manufacturing world, we often call these micro-lean projects. But these engaged employees enjoy finding ways to fix things, finding ways to make things better, finding ways to make things more productive. On the other side of the coin, you have the non-engaged employee. The non-engaged employee has a little slack time. They're going to figure out some way to use it for themselves or do something else that's, for all practical purposes, non-productive. So these are ways that you can identify an engaged employee. If you see these things, you have an engaged employee. If you don't see these things, you don't have an engaged employee. Another way of looking at this, former President Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. The engaged employee comes to work looking for things to make his company work better. That's why if you have all these employees out there on your floor looking for ways to make things work better, your company is going to be more productive, more profitable, more stable. That's the kind of employee you want. That's the kind of environment that you want to work in. And in another video, we'll talk a little bit about how you get from point A to point B, because most companies do not have an engaged workforce. Thank you for your time. I would request that you like and share and subscribe to this channel, and hopefully there'll be some things here of value for you. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.